A reminder then that we are ready for the individual time trial. Let's take a look at the course. It's the Wollongong City Circuit, 28.8 kilometres, 2 laps in total, taken in Botanic Gardens, the University of Wollongong, Mount Ousley and the Innovation Campus is where we're going to race past before we head down to Flagstaff Point Lighthouse and into the race finish on Marine Drive. Set then with Koki Kamada from Japan. Koki Kamada underway, an 18-year-old rider, fourth in the Japanese National Road Race Championships. Second rider to go, Louis Leder, 17 years of age. German rider, second in the National Road Race Championships of Germany. Second rider rolls down the start ramp, Louis Ledert. Now this morning, and we won't give away the result, Rochelle, Koki Kamada onto this climb. Remind us then, Rochelle, for those of us who've not seen this racing so far, describe this climb for us. How does it look? What's the gradients involved here?
Well, it is quite a difficult climb. So this is Mount Ousley, and they don't go all the way up Mount Ousley, but it's certainly a very, very tough climb. It's a lot steeper than it looks. I've been around the course on a bike a few times, and my pace certainly wasn't as high as Koki Kamada is going out there, but it's for the riders a real challenge, especially on the second lap, just to have the legs to punch over that.
I know we shouldn't make comparisons, but I just wanted to make a little comparison just to see what sort of time these junior men are putting in comparison to the time of Zoe Backstead earlier on today. Louis Liat going up this climb. That's a very, very strong performance here by Louis Ledart, 9:29.13.
He's still putting out a lot of power. He's going to punch over this hill. He has to. It's going to really, really hurt, but still looking quite strong.
He's such an aggressive rider, isn't he? But when he gets into that aero tuck, he just looks refined and easy. Comes up to this intermediate split, and he is rocking his way around this course. Hamish McKenzie this afternoon is looking like he is on an absolute mission. 1 minute and 11 seconds faster than the fastest time by the German Louis Ledart. 48.3 kilometres an hour to this point, Rochelle. This rider is setting a standard that might stand for quite a while.
Yeah, I was just thinking he might have to spend more than 2, maybe 3 hours in the hot seat until... So he will be the first rider to cross the finish line. Louis Ledart of Germany.
The German rider approaching the finish line, Louis Ledart. He has initially set the standard for everyone else to beat. He's going to set it here, but it's going to be beaten by the Australian rider. Louis Ledart, 36 minutes 53.12, an average speed of 46.8 kilometres an hour. You were mentioning earlier on about Hamish McKenzie as he comes into the finish and hasn't signed for Jumbo-Visma. Opposite us at the moment, there's some of the top agents in world cycling watching this rider, and I wonder whether he's with any of those agents. Maybe they've advised him, get a medal in the World Championships, then you can sign for a team like Jumbo-Visma, because we'll add a little bit more money into that contract. Hamish McKenzie comes into the finish for Australia, top of the leaderboard. That is a spectacular time on restricted gears, an average speed of 48.9 kilometres an hour.
On the body or the bike?
This is Syarif Hadatullah, rides for Indonesia, finding this climb really tough this afternoon. When you haven't ridden at the World Championships at this sort of level, this is a bit of a baptism of fire, but it's good to see the Indonesian rider here and finding out what it's all about. This will be an experience never to forget. Cameron Rogers looking to try and eclipse the time of Hamish McKenzie, who went through there with 9 minutes 4:54. Louis Ledart went through 24 seconds slower to this particular point. It's such a hard point on the horizon, isn't it? You've got to have the ability to climb and to have time trialled the initial start of this race, which is so tough. Looks like Rogers is going to be losing a little bit of time here, but we're at the very early stages of this time trial, aren't we? There is still time to get this back.
Yeah, there is. You can just see a nod of the head there that Hamish McKenzie is confident that he's gone 17 seconds faster over the first 7.1 kilometres than his teammate.
This is the next rider arriving at this particular point. This is Frank Rogilo of Estonia, and this is a good time. 9 minutes 11.56, 7.02 down, second fastest time. He's in the ballpark this afternoon.
Need to be good technically and confident through the corners at high speed.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, and he crashes. Well, he just didn't know where to go, did he?
Really, really unfortunate. He's got some support there. Chains come off.
Well, he just had that moment of not being quite sure he'd taken the right line. Then he kind of saved it, and suddenly everything went wrong.
I think he was looking to go straight through and not turn right, and then he realised at the last minute that it was a right-hand turn.
Well, let's take a look, Rochelle, at the replay, see what happens here.
It looked to me like he was going to swing left, and then he went, oh no, I've got to go right.
And he just ran out of road on the side. But this morning would be exactly the same. I don't see how anyone, we won't give it away, but I don't see anyone who could have changed that result at all, whether it be 1 lap or 2 laps. Here's the arrival, though, of Cameron Rogers of Australia. Is he going to join his teammate on the hot seat this afternoon? Hamish McKenzie has set a standard that looks pretty hard to beat. Third fastest time, another Australian goes into the hot seats by a significant margin. No rider's got anywhere close to him so far. This is Frank Rogilo, who went through the first intermediate split just 7 seconds down on Hamish McKenzie, which shows just how fast this Australian rider has gone around this course. The Estonian rider second fastest, 54.8 seconds down on the Australian.
Let's see now if Rogilo can come in faster than the Australian, Cameron Rogers. He might have to say goodbye to the hot seat. How close will it be?
Hamish McKenzie has the fastest time. Frank Rogilo of Estonia looking to try and put himself into the hot seat. Is he going to do that? Yes, he is. Second fastest time. The Estonian puts himself into second place. Here he comes now, though. This is the rider from Belgium who's been setting good times out on the course, chasing a hot seat position. He won't beat the time of Hamish McKenzie. That time has already gone way past. The Australian rider is firmly in that hot seat. Let's see what the time is going to be as he reaches the conclusion of this time trial. The time is going to be around about 1:20 down. 1:21.44, third fastest time for Duarte Maravat-Scolias. Start of the Estonian rider, Roman Pajur. We're not quite sure of the time yet of Will Eves. The start then of the Swiss rider, Jan Christian. Another rider who we think has got a chance of a medal, was 7th in the World Championships last year. Steady start off the start ramp for Jan Christian. Fast through that turn by Jan Christian, the Swiss rider. That's a lovely shot of being able to get that and seeing exactly how that's set up. This is Roman Pajur. The Estonian rider seemed a bit steady over the top there, but actually is carrying a fair amount of speed in this time trial. Just didn't enjoy the top of that particular climb. 18.75 seconds down. Good enough for 6th place at the moment for Estonia.
So with every rider that passes through this intermediate time check, outside the time of Hamish McKenzie, he'll be building confidence. Now we have a serious contender from Germany. Emil Herzog is on the start line.
Emil Herzog about to get underway. Rides for a club called Team Autoida. Has had some good performances. Won a race in Switzerland, the overall general classification and a stage.
Yeah, slower surface, so very, very good conditions and a wise decision of the Australians for Hamish McKenzie in the heat of the day. Very still, calm wind.
4:20 in the afternoon. But it feels a little bit later than that. It feels a little bit chillier. Jan Christian almost at 9 minutes, clicking his way through the gears, looking for a little bit more momentum, a little bit more power through those pedals. Time of McKenzie, 9 minutes 4.54. He is sitting here on the edge of his seat now because he knows that this is starting to get tight. Oh, is that a problem for Jan Christian?
Yeah, he's having trouble getting the gear that he needs on the climb, and he's in third position, the closest we've seen for a long while, 7 seconds down.
Good ride there.
Oh, he just can't get that. He's trying to jump his wheel around. He can't get that right gear.
That's
very disappointing. 28.8 kilometres. And the big favourites now, Josh Tarling, the last rider to leave the starting ramp for Great Britain. Well, I think that it could, Anthony. I think the conditions at the moment are not quite as good as they were in the middle of the day. I think it's a tough ask for the riders to hang around all day and produce their best performance this late in the afternoon. As we said, it feels a lot later with the sun dropping very quickly.
Here's the arrival then of the American Artem Schmidt. Time to beat, 35 minutes, 18.45. Artem Schmidt heading in to conclude his individual time trial. A rider who was perhaps an outsider for a medal. Let's see what the time is going to be for Artem Schmidt. Hits the line now with the second fastest time. That is a real turnaround.
Yeah.
The German rider who started fourth from last. We'll still wait for the arrival now of the British rider. Here he is, the silver medalist last year. He signed a 3-year contract with Ineos Grenadiers. This is going to be close. Very, very close. The time to beat is 9 minutes 4.54, and Tarling is the first rider under 9 minutes. And 9:44 under the time of Hamish McKenzie. For the first time, the Australians' time is in danger. This is the second intermediate split. Romet Pajor coming up to that point, riding for Estonia. Estonia have had some good performances today. Second fastest time for Romet Pajor, looking to put himself into the medals when he gets back to the finish line. The team for Estonia. Estonia looking to put 2 riders in the top places so far. Tarling from Aberaeron in Wales, clicking his way through the gears. They've recognised his talent at Ineos Grenadiers, a 3-year contract for this rider. At the end of the lap, Josh Tarling leads with the first ride under 17 minutes. McKenzie looking really worried now. McKenzie second at 19.3 seconds. Jan Christian now in third place. Jan Christian is the rider who is looking like he might take the bronze. But Emil Herzog is moving fast as well.
Such a close race there now for the medals. Such a juggle on the hot seat. The times might just take that World Championship rainbow jersey from the Australian. That's how it's looking at the moment, and it would have to be a bit of a disastrous second lap for Joshua Tarling.
This is a good ride by Romet Pajor of Estonia. He may well put himself into the medals right now. Romet Pajor of Estonia reaches the line in time, which puts him into second place. Here's the arrival of Emil Herzog, the German rider, as he reaches the top of the climb. This looks like a very accomplished performance. McKenzie phoning in a little bit of assistance. The stress must be getting too much in that hot seat. Herzog, second fastest time, 21.47 seconds down on the time of McKenzie.
Here comes the Swiss rider. He was third through the last time check. Will he be third over the finish line?
Jan Christian has looked superb. He's had some gear problems. He's had some trials and tribulations along the way, but he's never given in on the dream of getting a medal in these World Championships. Jan Christian giving this everything, emptying the tank as he sprints for the line, and it's going to be second place for Jan Christian. He goes into the hot seats with a ride of 48 kilometres an hour. We go back out on the course with Josh Tarling as he reaches the top of Mount Ousley, and let's see how much time he has in hand. A little bit of a clicking through the gears. Mackenzie looks worried. Tarling is holding his time, but actually is starting to go a little bit backwards. Mackenzie's time is starting to look a little bit tight. 13.37 seconds. Tarling's lost some time. Emil Herzog of Germany makes his way into the finish line. Mackenzie's time still stands with only 3 riders left to finish. Emil Herzog, is this going to be a medal for the German rider? He's chasing it, and he's chasing it hard. It looks like it's going to be second place for Emil Herzog. It is 14.26 seconds down. Herzog has ridden superbly over the last phase of that time trial. Herzog has taken 20 seconds. Let's see what the time is at the 1 kilometre to go point. It's really close. Very, very, very close. He may well just have it. Tarling going up to 1,000 metres, and he's going to hit it at 34 minutes. It should be enough, but you just never know.
1 minute and 18 seconds to do the final kilometre to take the rainbow jersey.
In normal circumstances, it should be enough. But 66 kilometres an hour. Look at the way that Josh Tarling is pedalling, trying to give everything he's got. Look at Mackenzie. Is it going to be gold? Is it going to be silver? He looks sick. He knows that this is so tight. Tarling comes round the corner. He's got 43 seconds to make it to the finish line. At the earlier splits, it looked like it was all sorted, all in the bag, all decided. But on that final split, it looked like Tarling was starting to tire. The silver medalist of last year, with Hamish Mackenzie watching him, is now firing his way into Wollongong. It's going to be on the line. Gold for Tarling. He does it 19 seconds. He pulls back the deficit he lost exactly. Tarling takes the rainbow bands. Silver last year, gold this year.
Well, he really knew what he was doing there in the second lap over that climb, just conserving a little bit for the finish. What an amazing ride from Joshua Tarling. And
take a look at the top 10 after a thrilling race. Josh Tarling of Great Britain wins, 19.19 seconds ahead of Hamish Mackenzie. The Australian takes silver. Emil Herzog of Germany takes the bronze. A huge day for Great Britain in the junior time trials. It'd be interesting to hear Tarling's interview as to whether he knew that he'd lost some time or whether he controlled it over that final intermediate, because suddenly it swung back, didn't it? He'd taken 10 seconds and suddenly he lost 6.
yeah, well, I think it was controlled, because if he had have lost those 6 seconds while he was giving 100% effort, he never would have been able to lift that much in the finish.
La montre Tissot sera présentée par Monsieur José Manuel Pérez, membre du comité directeur de l'UCI.
The Tissot watch will be presented by Mr. José Manuel Pérez, the UCI Management Committee member.